Hi, and welcome to this postnatal yoga introduction video part 1, where we will focus on the first weeks after delivery. So it's always recommended to get clearance from your doctor before you take up any physical activity, including yoga after pregnancy. In general, this will take around 6 weeks when you had a natural delivery and around 8 weeks in case of a C-section or other pregnancy complications. And this is to allow your body time to rest and recover and to avoid injuries by putting too much pressure on your weakened abdominal and pelvic floor muscles. Now, an exception to this would be gentle walking, deep breathing, abdominal awareness exercises, which are very different from any crunches or toning, as we'll see in a minute, and also most important pelvic floor exercises, which you can start with directly after delivery in order to promote the healing. Now, before we'll dive into the yoga part, I just want to give a little extra explanation in case you're not familiar with the pelvic floor, which can be compared with a hammock consisting of layers of muscles and tissues stretching from your pubic bone to the front all the way to our tailbone and sitting bones in the back. And its most important functions are supporting our abdominal organs, such as our bladder and uterus, and also controlling the passing of stool and urine. So it's very important to keep your pelvic floor muscles toned, especially after childbirth, as weakening can result in dropping of your abdominal organs and leakages. Now, for isolated pelvic floor exercises and some more detailed explanation on this, you can have a look at my special blog article on the pelvic floor, which is linked below. And then today's practice will also incorporate some pelvic floor awareness. Now, yoga wise, in these first weeks, you should restrict yourself to a very gentle and nurturing practice, which will mainly consist of deep breathing, relaxation, gentle stretches, and restorative yoga poses using lots of cushions and bolster for support. And hereby, you can also incorporate some pelvic floor and abdominal awareness. So let's get started by coming to lay flat on your back, which at the beginning you want to do very carefully to avoid pulling on your abdominal or pelvic floor muscles. So I'm just going to transfer by gently lowering down through my arms on my side body and then rolling on my back. And then I'm going to place my feet hip distance apart and both feet flat on the earth so my fingertips can reach from my ankles. And I'm just going to stretch the back of the neck so the neck is nice and neutral. And then you can keep your hands flat on the mat. And then closing your eyes and just taking a moment to coming aware of this position, becoming aware of the position of your body, the feet in contact with the earth. Release through the lower back, along the spine, letting the shoulders melt into the mat, relaxing the arms, the back of the neck, facial muscles, front body, and then settling into the body. We start directing the awareness onto the breath and just observing the breath flowing in and out through the nose. And then almost naturally, we're going to start deepening our breath, filling the lungs all the way down till the bottom. And then our breathing muscle will push down, pushing our abdominal organs out with the inhale and releasing through the exhale. And like this, we're coming to our nice deep abdominal breath. So inhale, feeling the belly rise. And exhale, letting the belly relax. No, just a natural process. Nice deep breathing, which already gently will bring that awareness into those abdominal organs, which will gently stretch with the inhale and release with the exhale. Nice deep inhalations and nice long exhalations. And then we're going to enhance this movement of the belly as we're going to gently engage, very softly, very gently, our deep core muscles. So inhaling, letting the belly relax, and then exhale, you gently want to draw your navel in, navel towards spine. Inhaling, naturally relaxing the belly. Exhaling, drawing navel to spine. And keep on working like this with your breath. This gentle movement will help us to regain the awareness of the abdominal muscles, which can be very difficult because they get weakened to an enormous amount. So it will take time. And it's same way we'll gently start toning this muscle, but very gentle without hurting or over pulling. So inhaling, relaxing the belly, exhaling, drawing navel towards your spine. And the same exercise you can do when you're on all fours. And then we're just gently working against gravity as you inhale, letting the belly relax, and exhaling, drawing navel to spine. Let's do one more round. Inhaling all the way down, letting the belly rise. Exhale gently, drawing in navel to spine. And then relaxing. Now we're gonna combine this breath with a posture we call apanasana. And for this we're gonna draw the knees close to the chest so we can place our hands on our knees. And then with the inhale, we wanna draw the knees away from you, let the belly rise. Slowly filling the lungs, and the exhale, drawing the knees close to your body as you draw in the navel to spine. And then you keep on breathing like this. Each inhale, stretching the knees away from you, keeping the shoulders relaxed. Exhale, knee towards chest. And then you just flow in this movement with your breath. And this is very excellent to release any tension in your lower back. And at the same time, keeping the awareness on that abdominal region each time as we squeeze the knees towards the chest. We're not only gently toning the deeper abdominal muscles, but we're also massaging our abdominal organs. So very healthy for a good digestive system. And then a few more rounds, inhaling, stretching the arms, exhaling, squeezing the knees towards your chest. And then the last round, we're holding the knees with the chest. Keep on breathing here. You can gently rock from left to right, giving an extra massage into that lower back. And then again, we're gonna place our feet flat on the mat, hands on the mat, and just taking a moment. Natural breath, relaxing here. Keep on relaxing to the shoulders. Make sure the neck is still nice and neutral. And then we're gonna come on to some pelvic floor awareness. So coming back first to our just natural abdominal breath, breathing in, letting the belly rise, and exhale, letting the belly relax. And now forget about squeezing your abdominal organs, just let it be passive and see if you can breathe a bit more deeper, a bit more down into your pelvic floor, as we've seen on that drawing, that hammock of muscles, and feel how that is gently opening naturally with the inhale, and then relaxing with the exhale. And for the moment, no control here, just deep breathing into the pelvic floor. Feeling that gentle expansion, that opening like a beautiful flower. And then exhale, releasing. Just a few deep breaths down into the pelvic floor. And then from there, we want to gently start engaging the pelvic floor. So first, in this first step, we're just going to keep the abdominal passive, so no engaging of the abdominal. Just focus on your pelvic floor. So inhale, you want to feel that opening, and then with the exhale you want to draw your pelvic floor muscles all the way up. So you want to draw all those muscles in between your pubic bone and your coccyx. You want to draw them up like you're holding the flow of urine. So inhaling, relaxing, exhaling, drawing those muscles all the way up. And then keep on breathing like this. So each inhale you relax, and each exhale you're squeezing your pelvic floor muscles. Beautiful. And now we want to start combining that pelvic floor engagement with our abdominal engagement and add in some pelvic tilting. So with the inhale, we let the expansion happen, the relaxation, and then with the exhale, you start squeezing your pelvic floor muscles, drawing navel to spine, and gently scooping your tailbone up as you press your lower back into the mat, gently tilting your pelvis backward. And then exhaling, coming back to that neutral position of your lower back of your pelvis. So inhaling, relaxing, exhale, squeezing pelvic floor, squeezing abdominal muscles, pressing the lower back into the floor and tilting the pelvis backwards. And then keep on working with your breath. So each inhale coming back to neutral, and then each exhale squeezing and just gently tilting the pelvis backward. And the same thing here, you can do more actively when you're on all fours and when you do that little cat and cow movement. So inhaling from neutral spine and then exhaling as you gently rock the pelvis forward, and you also round the spine. So here we also engage the upper back while we're laying down. We're just focusing on the lower part, the lower back, as we engage with each exhalation our pelvic floor and our abdominal muscles. And this again is very good for your lower back, very good to gently tone those abdominal organs. Let's do a few more rounds. Each inhale, relaxing, and each exhale, squeezing your pelvic floor, drawing navel to spine, tilting the pelvis backward, and firmly planting your feet into the earth. And then finishing up this movement, we're just gonna stretch the arms overhead, stretching out the legs, stretching out the whole spine. Here you can point and flex your feet a few times. You can do a few wrist rolls, just warming up the feet, the hands, the joints. And then from there, we're going to walk our feet back into the mat for a bit of stretching of the legs and the hamstrings. So we're going to hug the right knee first into the chest, and then you want to stretch out your leg into the air. And then you can either grab the back of the thigh, or if you have a strap or a belt available, you can place it around the ball of the foot. And then from there, you want to stretch your leg again up into the air. And then you want to slide the upper arms into the mat so you don't put any tension into the shoulders. So you're releasing the shoulders down. And then you have to find what works. So you can keep a slight bend to the knee. You can stretch out the other leg if that's more comfortable. And then working with your breath, breathing into the back of the leg. If you feel more space, you can stretch out the leg. And if your leg starts trembling, you can back off a little bit. So it's very important here to listen to your body. This is very healthy for your lower back, but if you overstretch, you can hurt your lower back. So by keeping a slight bend in the knee, you can feel the space, feeling the stretch in the hamstrings. And then taking one more deep breath here. And hugging that right knee back into your chest, and you can rock it a bit of left to right to release the lower back. And now you want to change sides, so walking both feet on the mat, hugging your left knee into your chest, stretching out the left leg, and then again you can add in your strap or belt around the ball of the feet, and then see how it goes with this leg. Again, make sure the shoulders and the upper arms are relaxed on the mat. Maybe stretch out your right leg, and then send your breath into the back of that left leg. Doesn't matter if it's more or less tight, just accept it and feel if you need to go deeper, if you need to release. Keeping that awareness onto your lower back. A few deep breaths on this side. And then gently coming out, hugging the left knee back into the chest. Rocking a little bit from left to right. And then we can hug our both knees into our chest. Maybe do a few circles. Good for the hips, good for the lower back, to one side. And then into the opposite side. And then very carefully we're going to come to sitting, rolling onto the left side, pressing into the arms, gently engaging the core muscles to protect the lower back. And then you want to come to sitting cross-legged, or wherever way you can comfortable. You can sit on top of a bolster. And then with the next inhale, lifting the arms overhead. We're going to start by lengthening the spine, exhaling, flowing to the left side. Inhaling center, exhale onto the right side. And then you just flow with your breath, inhaling center, exhaling left. Inhaling center, exhaling right. Inhale back to center, and the next exhale we're going to hold, and here you can drop your left arm onto the mat, stretching out the right side from the hip, through the armpit, through the fingertips. Breathing into that right side, inhaling center, exhale opposite side, and then just a few breaths on this side as you stretch out the left side, making sure your both sitting bones stay firmly into the mat. And then coming back to center. Inhale. Exhale. Now we're going to twist over to the right side, and here our belly is gone, so you can twist a little bit deeper if you feel space. Inhaling center. Exhale onto the left side. Just one more breath. Nicely working on the flexibility of the spine, and then we're going to interlace the hands behind the back. This is very nice to open up the chest. You can drop the chin to the chest, stretching out the back of the neck, and then rolling your neck from left to right, releasing any tension in the shoulder, into the neck, especially if you're breastfeeding or carrying the baby a lot. The upper back, the neck can be very tense. So always good to do a few stretches, and then you can bring the knuckles into the left side as you drop the right ear to the right shoulder, stretching out that left side, taking a few breaths here, and then coming back to center, and then switching on to the other side. So now left ear towards left shoulder. Again, you can bring those knuckles now into the right hip and breathing into this side. And this stretching you can do anytime in between, during the day, if you're sitting on the chair. Just make sure you just keep moving that upper back, stretching out regularly. And then just do a few very releasing shoulder rolls, rolling the shoulders up with the inhale and back with the exhale. And then again, changing sides here, really, again, releasing those maybe achy shoulders. And then we're gonna move on to some restorative postures. So make sure you have at least one yoga bolster and a block, or either 2 pillows and a blanket nearby. Then we're gonna start with a nice restorative chest and shoulder opener. So I'm gonna give you 2 options. The first one works best when you have a nice firm pillow or yoga block nearby. So I'm gonna place my yoga bolster horizontal with the mat, and then I can place my blanket on top, and then the block I wanna place vertically. And then I want to gently and carefully lay down on top of the block. So I'm placing the block in between the shoulder blades. And then I'm going to lay down, and then I have a nice support for the back of the neck. So this can be quite intense for the upper back. So if this doesn't work for you and you don't have a block available, you can also just place 1 or 2 pillows lengthwise, and then you can lay on top of that. And then we can keep the feet flat on the mat, or you can stretch out both legs. Just making sure you're not feeling any strain into your lower back. And then you're just gonna lay here, laying still for a couple of minutes, making sure you're comfortable here. So if at any time it's too intense, you just wanna come out by rolling onto one side. If not, you wanna allow your body time to relax, letting all the tension melt away through the shoulders, which are nicely dropping away from the ears, giving a beautiful opening in the chest. We're really working against that rounded back, all the tension in the shoulders, feeding the baby, carrying the baby all day. And here you can send your breath in any area that might feel tight, breathing nicely into that upper back, into the shoulders. Just gonna stay here for a few more minutes, and while you're just laying here, just try to stay present. So maybe thoughts, maybe feelings will arise, and that's fine. Just don't force anything, just observe it. Whenever you feel distracted, you can just come back to your breath. Nicely releasing, and at the same time, restoring your body. We're gonna take 5 more deep breaths here. If you practice this posture on its own, you can always stay up till 5-10 minutes, combine it with yogic breathing. And then whenever you're ready to come out, you're going to walk your feet flat on the mat, and then very carefully rolling onto one side, pushing yourself up. And then we're going to come to the next posture, which is legs against the wall. So you want to sit against the wall, and then you want to carefully swing your legs up against the wall. Now, if you're still bleeding, you just want to lay flat on your back. And then if your bleeding has stopped, you can place a bolster underneath your buttocks so your hips are a little bit more elevated. And then you can keep your arms beside the body, or you can bring them up, which is a bit more extra release through the shoulders. And then again, you want to stay here for a few minutes, focusing on your breath while allowing your body to relax. And we're practicing a mild inversion here, which is excellent for the blood flow in the body, because here we're especially inverting the blood flow in the legs. So it's very good if you have tired or swollen legs. It's also very good to calm down the mind and to rest, to recharge when you feel tired. So take your time here. Again, you can stay anywhere up to 5-10 minutes into the posture. I'm going to take one last breath here. And then whenever you're getting ready to come out of the pose, you can move your feet a bit, walking your legs against the wall, and then gently dropping, rolling onto one side, and coming back to sitting. And then we're going to do our last posture, which is going to be our final relaxation, our Shavasana. And here also we're going to add a little bit of props. So you want to have 2 blankets. So one blanket, you're going to make a little of a roll of it, which we're going to use to place in the back of the neck. And then the other blanket, you want to fold double or triple, depending on the height you want for the shoulders. And these we're going to place under the shoulder blades. And then the pillow or bolster we're going to use for the back of the knees. So setting up your props. And then you want to lay on top of that. So just shifting, shiveling to get it into place. And then from here, you're going to lay down very carefully, placing the back of the shoulders on the folded blanket, and then the back of the neck on top of that rolled blanket. And this is excellent to release the back of the neck, any tension here. And then you want to swivel that pillow behind the kneecaps, which is excellent to give release for the lower back. So we're really working here on the neck. You get a gentle stretch for the shoulders as we bring our arms up, and we're also relaxing the lower back. So this is an excellent way to finish the practice, or just practice it on yourself when you just want to take a little bit of rest in between while the baby is sleeping. You feel really tired, you just want to relax. And again, you can combine this with some deep yogic breathing, other breathing exercises, and then just take your time here, doing it as a final relaxation. Again, 5-10 minutes, the time you have, even more, just to allowing your body to observe the effects of your practice, allowing your body to relax, to rest deeply. And then again, trying to stay present, aware, while deeply relaxed. Now I'm going to leave you here. If you want to know a little bit more about postnatal yoga, you can subscribe yourself for my free postnatal yoga guide, where I give lots of tips for you practicing yoga after your delivery, after your pregnancy, on how to recover. So you can find the link below, as well as all my other projects. So then I'm thanking you for watching this video. Namaste.